I'm David Kraft, editor-in-chief of WorkBoat magazine and WorkBoat.com, along with Bruce Bowles, the technical editor based here in Seattle for WorkBoat and WorkBoat.com. And we're at the Pacific Marine Expo in Seattle, Washington. We're wrapping it up here, a successful show, and we're going to have some of our observations. And I'll start with you, Bruce, about how the show went this year.
I think it was fantastic. I've never seen the aisles as busy, as crowded as they've been at this show. You can just hear a buzz going through the whole place. A lot of energy. It's really been a fun event, and I think a very successful event. Just talked to one of the reps from Furuno, and he was saying, "Man, this is the best show we've had here in years." So he's happy. We're happy.
Now, what was the crowning event or the biggest event? Whether it's the announcement by All American Marine, or what do you think, out of everyone you talked to, what was the biggest thing in your eye that struck your interest?
Well, this morning we had our economic forecast breakfast, and one of the things that got me, there were nearly 300 people at this breakfast this morning. Last year there were 150, which is a big crowd, but getting 300 people to show up, to listen and ask questions about what's happening in the marine industry here in the Pacific Northwest, combined with the attendance to show, my takeaway is that the industry here is really healthy and is really poised for some growth overall. So I just think the whole thing has been really upbeat.
And for me, I haven't been at PME probably in 5-6 years, and it's a lot bigger than it was. And at the keynote address yesterday, Frank Foti from Vigor, if you remember, he said, "Listen to that," and he was quiet. And you could hear the buzzing that he said he didn't hear that years ago. It was more of an empty hall.
Yeah.
And it indicated, I guess, the level of the hustle and bustle of what's going on, the deals, and that's what he commented. But another thing that Frank said, he was talking about the workers and the people coming back to the industry. I thought that was interesting. He called it retro cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I picked up on that too.
And it was Kids Day at the shipyard. So what do? The kids go to the office? No, they go to the shipyard, and they think that's cool. And that's going to be something that they need to address as the industry gets older.
Well, I think they are making a real effort to address this issue of recruiting another generation into shipyard work and beyond that into the maritime trades in general. And you and I visited their training facility earlier this week, and he referred to that in his keynote as well. And then after the keynote was over, I stood up and my nephew walked up and said, "Hey, Bruce."
Oh, that was your nephew?
That was my nephew, who's now working for Lake Union Dry Dock, and he's in his 20s. So it's great to have a younger generation in my family in the marine industry. But it's reflective of, I think, that there are people that are interested in it and can be recruited into it and can enjoy it, can make good money, and we'll be here at the show next year.
And it was also a wise decision by you not to introduce him to me, or let him even know and get to know me. Very good decision on your part, Bruce.
That's right. Yeah, but I'll introduce you later. He's a beer drinker, Dave, so we may all have something in common.
We will. In fact, we're going to have a beer in a few seconds, wrapping up the show. I think a successful show, and I guess that's it from the 2013 Pacific Marine Expo show.